Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Remna if you're new here, and on this channel I talk about books and self-development, and in today's video is going to be a mid-year freakout tag. Basically, this is just a tag that most booktubers post about the books they've read thus far up until this point, so around like June or July, and just the books that they have enjoyed, the books that they haven't enjoyed. So I wrote them all down on like my notes, so I'm going to be reading from here. So the first one I have is the best book you have read so far in 2023. Obviously, It's a Man and His Cat. Like, this manga series has got me on a clutch. Like, this has beaten me down in all the right ways. It's just so freaking cute and wholesome, and I think by the time this video is out, I've already posted a whole review about it because I'm absolutely in love with this so much. Like, I cannot tell you how amazing this manga series is and how cute and beautiful it is. Like, you just have to read it. You have to read it. I'm telling you, like, if you're not into manga, this is the perfect one to get into it. So the second question is best sequel you've read so far. Again, A Man and His Cat. I'm gonna mention this book a lot, but A Man and His Cat, like, it's just and it's kind of technically the only series I've been really reading so far. Like, I haven't touched Sakamoto Days and Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm still reading. I've only read up to volume 18, and honestly, if I were to pick like the series that I'm like really like in love with out of all the three of them, it's definitely A Man and His Cat. The next question is release you have not read yet but want to. And this one, I would say A Happy Place by Emily Henry. I know a lot of people are talking about Emily Henry and how great of, like, you know, a writer she is, and I know a lot of people loved like Beach Read, Met on Vacation, and then there was Beach Read, Book Lovers, and then now there's A Happy. There might be other books, but like those are the 4 books heard by her, but haven't read any of them. But I want to read at least Happy Place and the other ones too, so yeah. Question number 4 is most anticipated release for the second half of the year. Much Ado About Nada. And this is by Usman Jalaluddin. So she's the same author who wrote Aisha at Last and Hana Khan Carries On. And I think I've already explained enough in my other video how much I disliked Hana Khan Carries On, but how I really loved Aisha at Last. And so honestly, I'm a bit nervous for this one. I mean, I'm excited to read it. Like, I really want to read it. I think I really want to read it just so that I can like feel better about ditching Hana Khan Carries On, because I really fell in love so much with Aisha at Last, and I really wanted to like Hana Khan Carries On, but I just didn't. And now she has this new book, and so I'm just like, oh, I don't know, like, I'm so scared, because it's like I was so happy and I was so satisfied with the first book I read by her, and then the second book just let me down, and now there's this third book and I'm like, I don't know. I'm so scared. It's so scary. Like, I just need to go into it blindly, because if I look too deep into it, I may just have like, you know, some like make some assumptions about it. And I just want to go to it like clear and crystal, like just completely oblivious to what is going to happen in the story. So yeah, this is more so for myself, like to just give like myself a second chance with her book. Okay, so then there's number 5. So number 5 is Biggest Disappointment. Again, that is Hana Khan Carries On. Like, I wanted to like that book so badly, and I was reading chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4. Ooh, I was losing it. I was like, no. I was dragging myself. I went out to Goodreads. I was like, does anybody else feel the same way I do? And once I saw there was other people who feel the same way I did, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna have to drop it. I'm so sorry. Like, I wanted to love it as much as I loved Aisha at Last, because I'm telling you, that book, and it's right there on my shelf, that book was absolute golden. That book was just, I fell in love with everybody. This book, I hated everybody. I didn't like anybody's. Number 6, The Biggest Surprise. Again, A Man and His Cat. Again, I didn't know what it was about. Like, I think I saw somebody else recommend it, or I was like looking for like new mangas to read, and I saw that one on a list. I decided to like, you know, read it, and again, I knew nothing about it. I was like, okay, I don't know what it's about. And even though I think the title is pretty telling, like it's a man and his cat, but like it's so much more than just a man and his cat. It's a man and his cat and everybody else and the whole gang. and it is just so, again, so sweet, so wholesome. Then number 7, my favorite new author. Okay, I have to say it's Farhat Amin. And Farhat Amin wrote, I think, again, I probably already had this video out, but she wrote Smart Single Muslima, which I read this year and I absolutely loved it. It was so informative. I learned a lot, just about marriage, just about how to approach marriage, what to expect, like, going on, the marriage journey and whatnot. This was everything for me, and I feel like it really calmed my nerves down a lot about marriage, because there's so many, everybody has so many different opinions about marriage, how you should be, how you shouldn't be, how you should act, how you shouldn't act, how you should get into marriage, how you shouldn't get into marriage. And I feel like this just made it crystal clear for me, like, the Muslim way to do it. Like, set aside all the cultural stuff, set aside all, like, your ideals and the fantasies and whatnot. Like, this is what Islam says on how to find a spouse, on how to get married, and this is the way you do it. And it just felt so straightforward, and I absolutely loved also the questions that she added towards the end to ask your potential spouse. Like, that too was, I feel like, a great idea. There's a lot of questions, so you can easily pick like 3 or 4 questions from each category and then just ask them away. So again, amazing book, love her. I definitely want to read more of her books. I feel like the way she writes is so simple and so easy to read. Number 8 is newest fictional crush, the Grand Duke. If you don't know, he looks like he could kill you, but is a cinnamon roll. Like, that's the best way I can describe him. He looks like he can kill you, but he's a cinnamon roll. He's just so, like, he has this manly side, right? Like, he protects who he loves, right? He's protecting his kingdom. He knows how to fight. Like, he's very skilled. He's smart. And then at the same time, this man is so soft. This man is so kind. This man is, like, literally a teddy bear. So number 9, newest favorite character, Ji-won from Marry My Husband. This is a webtoon, and Ji-won is just, oh my gosh, so nice to see a character that is so, like, that starts to get in tune with herself and starts to notice, like, oh, this person actually cared about me and I didn't even realize it, or this person really hated me and I just did not, like, give it a second thought. And I just love how she just is so, like, mature, and she knows how to handle her stuff in, like, the professional way, in a respectful way. Like, she just knows how to carry herself. Yeah, my new favorite character. She's a girl boss. She's a girl boss. Girl bossing, slaying, queeing, doing all of it. She's doing all of it. All of it. All of it. Number 10 is a book that made you cry. Now, this isn't a book, but it's, again, a webtoon. This year has just been a lot of webtoon. Honestly, ever since I've been starting school, like, I really don't have that much time to really sit down, like, for my other books, like, the sit down, like, long ones. So webtoons and mangas have been, honestly, filling up most of my time, and as you can tell from this list. But a book that has made me cry, or the webtoon that has made me cry, Daytime Star. My goodness, the love in here. Like, people are like, oh, it's unrealistic. No, I'm gonna be delusional. It's real. It's real. It's real. This story, like, the characters, the way, like, especially Yura-hwan, like, let me just, this is especially for her. She is just so strong to still pursue her dreams despite being rejected left and right, despite having a partner who is unsupportive and then betrays her, despite having, to sacrifice so much of her time, despite, the challenges that she's faced in her past. And through all of that, seeing her then rise to the top, finding healthier relationships and getting better opportunities and being recognized for her work, it's just so, like, satisfying, and it's just, like, it warms up my heart so much. And especially her new love interest, like, her now husband, it warms my heart up too much, and I feel too sweet inside. And just seeing her husband, like, the way, this man is a man. This man is a man. Like, oh my gosh, he's just so funny, so witty. He's cool. He's a little bit petty, but, I like that too. No, not petty. Petty's not the right word. He's sassy. There we go. He's a little bit sassy, which I love. He's so cute. It's made me cry so much. Like, seeing them confess their love to each other, seeing them express how much they mean to each other, seeing how they support each other in different ways, how he protects her, how she encourages him. I cried out of happiness. That's the thing. Like, it wasn't like there's so many sad moments. There were a lot of, like, frustrating moments with some of the characters, but, like, most of my tears were, like, just happy tears. Number 11, a book that made you happy. Can you guess what it is? A Man and His Cat. it's literally like I can't explain to you the happiness I feel every time I read it. Like I read it and I'm like, life is good. Like life is good. I read it and I'm just like, the world is a wonderful place. Next question, number 12, is the most beautiful book you have read. That is Hannah God Carries On. It's a really nice cover though. Despite me not loving the book, it is a really nice cover. I mean, I just love the like little like the reflectiveness and just like the whole mic and the hijab and the lips. Like it is a really nice cover. I love it. Like even Aisha at Last is a nice cover. And this one too, again, a beautiful cover. And then the last question, the last one. What do you need to read by the end of the year? And I've started reading this book, but then I didn't. But I need to get back into it. That I really want to read before the end of this year because it's been on my list. Well, it's been on my shelf for a while now. Is Hurricane Summer. This is by Asha Bromfield, and I really like this book. I'm really already connecting with the character and the story and everything like that. I've only made it up to like chapter 2, but it's so relatable and it's so real. Like basically it's about this girl, right? She has a younger sister too, and her sister during the summer are going to Jamaica to visit her father. He goes back and forth from Canada to Jamaica, but he spends most of his time in Jamaica. So her and her younger sister, they go to Jamaica. And already, I mean, it's almost reminded me of the time like I visited Tanzania, and just like how like she explains like the dirt roads and the hot sun and like the seats being hot and just like all of that. I'm just like, whoa, that's like giving me flashbacks. But yeah, it's just a really nice story so far, and I really love how Asha includes like the Jamaican Jamaican language. I hate to say Jamaican language because I feel like there's a proper word to like her father is like speaking it and whatnot, and it's just like so like I feel like it's just so real, you know, like anybody who, you know, you have family that's like from abroad and who are from other countries, like I feel like you can definitely relate to it. It's like you're like living in like, you know, like Western society, right? So like America or Canada or whatnot, and then you go to like, you know, the other side of the world. It's like a completely different, you know, environment, and the words that they use, the language and whatnot, it's just also like different, and it's I can totally relate to her. It's a really amazing book so far. I've only again read up to chapter 2, but I definitely, if I have time and if I feel like it, definitely, because I'm a little bit of a mood reader too, so that kind of doesn't help. But when I'm definitely in the mood for it, I definitely want to like continue on reading it, because so far it's like it's been really relatable for me, and like I just again really connect with the characters. So that is all the books I have. If there are any books that I've mentioned that you also have read, please write them in the comment section below. Let's talk about it. Or if there's any other books that you've loved up until this point of the year, let me know too. I'm always willing and open to like hear out your like book recommendations and whatnot. So yeah, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye bye.